Prime Minister Mark Carney responded to the attack this afternoon on X. He says Canada condemns the Israeli strike, calling it an intolerable expansion of violence and an affront to Qatar's sovereignty. Carney says regardless of their objectives, such attacks pose a grave risk of escalating conflict throughout the region and directly imperils efforts to advance peace and security, secure the release of all the hostages, and achieve a lasting ceasefire. Now let's head to Washington, where the CBC's Aaron Collins has reaction from the Trump administration and around the world. And Aaron, what are we hearing from the White House?
Well, Ian, we were waiting, still are waiting, to hear directly from Donald Trump on this. He was supposed to have an availability about 2.5 hours ago. That's been delayed. We're still unsure what the reason for that is, but we are still waiting to hear directly from the president. We did get a few details earlier at the White House briefing. We were told the White House heard that attack was coming from the Pentagon. What's still unclear is how the U.S. military found out about the attack and how much, if any, of a heads up the Americans were given by Israel. We also were told that the U.S. passed that information immediately on to the Qataris once they found out. So this, certainly puts the White House in a bit of a tough spot, right? They've got one Gulf ally attacking another, and the administration was really quick to condemn where this attack took place. So not happy at all with the targeting of a residential neighborhood in Doha, but also condemning Hamas, whose leaders were targeted in this attack for that group's role in causing and really in escalating this broader conflict. Hamas fighters, as you heard Susan say there, claiming responsibility for the killing of 6 people in Jerusalem just yesterday, and still the White House insisting that there is still hope for a peace deal here.
The president has always made it very clear that he wants peace in the Middle East, just like he sought that and accomplished that in his first term. He expects all of our allies and friends in the region, that includes both Qatar and Israel, to seek peace as well. And he wants to see that happen.
So, the White House holding out hope that there is still an opportunity to push forward with peace talks here, but it's hard to see how today doesn't make that harder. Qatar, which had been playing a really key role in mediating those talks, clearly outraged with this airstrike, calling it an act of state terror, Ian.
And beyond Washington, you've been monitoring reaction from the international community. What have you been hearing?
Yeah, pretty broad condemnation. You mentioned Mark Carney posting on social media that the attack was, an intolerable expansion of violence and an affront to Qatar's sovereignty. And we saw similar posts and statements from, a lot of other countries as well. France, Germany, the UK, all putting out statements with a similar tone. And it was also a similar tone coming out of the United Nations today as well.
We are just learning about the Israeli attacks in Qatar, a country that has been playing a very positive role to achieve a ceasefire and release of all hostages. I condemn this flagrant violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Qatar. All parties must work towards achieving a permanent ceasefire, not destroying it.
Ian, no surprise, the criticism from other countries in the Gulf region, very pointed too. We heard from Turkey, Egypt, Iran, Morocco, just some of the nations calling out Israel for that attack. And add to that, Houthis in Yemen say they launched missiles at Israel today as a response. All this as Israel continues to ramp up its military operations in Gaza. So you really need to squint to see a ceasefire in this nearly 2-year-old conflict anytime soon, Ian.
Aaron Collins in Washington.